what was everybody talking about after that game? They were, Castleford fans clearly were talking about Castle crisis. Warrington fans were clearly claiming that they were going to win the. No, nobody was reading too much into it. But what we were all talking about was the fact that a young lady in a Formula One simulated car had got over 2 million views.
Do you know what's brilliant? And this is the offshoot I was getting into. So you've opened the door now. When we were at Hunslet on Tuesday, the story broke about Ollie Wilkes and Jamie Acton saying they took performance-enhancing drugs in their career. I don't know why the story was timed at that point, why ITV picked up on it when they showed no interest in rugby league whatsoever.
Is it because they've got the Six Nations? Oh, that was a conspiracy theory.
You'd have to be extremely naive to think that no one involved in professional sport, not just rugby league, takes performance-enhancing drugs, because of course they do. It's, we talk about players getting an advantage in sport from day one. This is another advantage. One of the things I remember from my childhood is Ben Johnson winning the Olympics with his arm up in the air about 5 miles ahead of everyone else. As it turns out, just about everyone in that race was on something, and he was only got pinged for it, and some of them didn't get criticised. So hilariously, this story comes out, and I assume that the assumption was, everyone's going to talk about everyone in rugby leagues on drugs after this. As it turns out, we're talking about a kid in a car at Warrington, which has completely blown it away. That's not to say that there isn't an issue with drugs. Of course there is. There is in every sport, but no more so in rugby league, I believe, with no numbers to back it up than any other sport. Why those two players chose to speak, I don't know. What I do find massively hypocritical as a sport is we can't say, Oliver Wilkes and Jamie Acton are evil, but here's Tyson Fury saying rugby league's great when he has been banned in his sport for taking performance-enhancing drugs before we get into anything else. So we can't have it both ways. But I just thought it was very amusing that all the publicity you thought would have been negative out of that story on Wednesday was completely blown away by a kid in a car. And I don't care whether it was set up or not that she drove past or not. I don't care, because it's funny. It was on the BBC News pages of their website, not the sport bit, the news, because they have silly stories like that. And the cut through of the drug story has not worked because everyone's talking about a daft thing that happened before a match. And that's brilliant. I love it.
And it is also the state of the world that we live in at the moment, that people are looking for, what is it, that 1.5 minutes of instantaneous social media type entertainment. None of us expected it. If it was staged, again, my hat is raised to the people at Warrington, and like it was to those at Hull for the dignified manner in which they sent off one of their greatest ever players. This was the opposite end of that scale, if you like. That, if you want to get the message across that Warrington are a fun-loving, progressive sort of place where if you're anywhere near, you might want to pop in because you're going to enjoy yourself, whatever the 80 minutes of the rugby is going to be. Great. If they told her to drive past, apparently they've got other things planned, which is, fantastic, because as soon as they're going to roll her out, then, maybe the Stig's going to be there. I don't know. Whatever it might be. Maybe Top Gear's going to come from a Warrington home game because a lot of the presenters are from that part of the world. Fantastic. Whatever it might be. But I don't see... I see a lot of clubs doing a lot of innovative things. We saw Dewsbury do it on their social media this week with getting the name of a Winter Olympian that was very, very close to their team name. Fantastic. The guy who goes around rating food, who apparently is
massively popular,
massive social media presence. He was at Hull giving their street food 10 out of 10, which again, all of that adds into the fact that we are now on Channel 4 and we are on Premiere, and the viewing figures are up. It's the curious as much as the committed, and what Whizzy Rascal did was gave everybody a laugh, gave Sky the opportunity to spread beyond a paywall, gave lots and lots of people the chance to comment on something that's rugby league related they wouldn't otherwise, and have heightened their anticipation for the next time it happens. So fantastic. Yeah, we can talk about the fact that Warrington were too good for Castleford. Cass clearly haven't yet settled into the way Lee Radford wants them to play. I'm not sure Warrington have hit their straps yet under Darrell either. I think it's relief that he's got that first win on the board, particularly as the fixture planners gave him his 2 old clubs for his first 2 games. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about a young girl in a car.
Smiles on faces. That's what it's all about.
And also the fact that clearly James Child wasn't in on it if it was planned. And his reaction was priceless as well. Just looking at his face as the car not only went past once, but went past twice. Stephen Ratchford, if he knew, was brilliant, because he obviously played to the putting his hands out to get a ball that wasn't there. And the fact is, he's just about to kick off in a really big game. So if that was all stage managed, even better.